I love residential work because it attaches us to sort of our childhood, actually, because everyone grows up thinking about their home. If you're a child, you draw a picture of your house, and you're very aware of what the house means symbolically and what it means literally. And so to be able to actually design houses is a way of sort of being a grown-up kid in a way. I mean, it's just the wonder and the joy of thinking about the most basic things. The door goes here, the windows are here, trees are there, and you get to do that. It's kind of like practicing architecture, like being in kindergarten your whole life. Residential architecture is important because it is really the testing grounds of so much architecture. If you go look at the history of architecture, individual houses for families, are sort of the laboratories for bigger developments in architecture. It's really the cutting edge, and it's what allows it allows a lot of it's the leading edge that allows the bigger world of architecture to follow behind it. And in ways, if you look back in history, little house here, house there, falling water, for example, that changes the vector of architecture in a way. Robert Venturi's house that he did for his mother, that did the same thing. It sort of changes the vector of architecture. Little, tiny dots on the map, and they have a great impact on the national scene and on the world scene of architecture. What architects bring to residential architecture is really just a sensibility. One aspect of houses is that everyone is familiar with them. People are familiar with the concept of a room and the window, the door, and so it's like some of the things that are the most familiar to people are actually the most people tend to think of in the most limiting ways. And it's the architect then who can come in and think about these basics of living, basics of sleeping, eating, and just living, and think about them from other perspectives, and make what might seem familiar sort of bring a new, put in a new light. And so every house project has its own possibilities, even in the most mundane kind of ordinary site. And it's the architect that comes in, and just by responding to very basic considerations, north is that way, west is that way, here's a tree for shade, there's the hill, when it rains the water's going to run off the hill this way. Those basic things are what allow the architect to come in and take these familiar forms of houses and make them into something that adds up to more than just rooms and walls and roof.